Hello, everyone. This is Adam with PsychedelicInvest.com, and in today's episode of Weekly Extractions, we're going to be going over some of the more notable events coming out of the psychedelic sector this week, and we're going to be talking about them. So I hope you guys are excited. Let's get right into things. All right, guys. So to start things off here, it looks like Field Trip is in deep trouble. So let's talk about this. So basically, Field Trip doesn't have enough money to essentially keep on going. And at the end of the day, I'll read it from right here. So we have, after careful consideration of the company's cash position and available alternatives by the independent committee of the company's board of directors, and thorough consultation with the company's legal and financial advisors, the board of directors determined that this is the best interest of Field Trip and its subsidiaries to file for credit protection under the CCAA. So what does that mean? So the initial order includes, among other things, a stay of proceedings in favor of Field Trip and its subsidiaries. The company intends to conduct an expedited sale and investment solicitation process with the goal of facilitating a transaction that enables the company to emerge from CCAA protection as a going concern. The company has also announced a company-wide reduction in corporate and clinical staff, and effective immediately, Ronan Levy has resigned as director of the company and will no longer serve as chairman and CEO. So I think that might be one of the better things to come out of it. Nothing really against Ronan. I don't know him personally, but I wasn't the biggest fan of his in terms of some of the things I've read about him. So we have that. So Mr. Levy will continue as an advisor to the company as it navigates this process. Keith Merker, who presently serves as director, chair of the audit committee, and chair of the independent committee of Field Trip, has been appointed as chief restructuring officer. The company intends to operate its remaining clinic locations in ordinary course during the CCAA proceedings under the oversight of the monitor. The company has been authorized by the court to incur no further expenses in relation to disclosure obligations under the Securities Act in Ontario or other security legislations, including the issuance of press releases. Effective today, trading in the company's securities has been suspended. The company's common shares will be transferred to the NEX board of TSX Venture Exchange during the suspended period. So essentially, what does this entail? So the CCAA protection will give them 30 days. They get creditor protection for 30 days. And during that time, they'll try to work out a restructuring plan. They'll be able to keep their doors open as per usual and basically run the business as usual without obviously incurring like any more significant expenses in that time. Now, at the end of the day, all of this looks like it's definitely heading towards bankruptcy. But I don't know, things can change pretty damn quickly, especially in like an environment like that we have right now. So they could end up so they've already started downsizing. They can keep downsizing. They can get their time to pay the debt extended. They can attempt to find funding. They can end up basically coming to an agreement with the creditors and try to settle with them there. They sell assets or they can just end up basically going bankrupt, closing their doors. I think a possibility here could be, so Irwin Naturals was going to buy Braxia. So I think they made an offer of anywhere from I think 20 to 30 million. Now, at the end of the day, I think that we could see something like that coming at Field Trip. It depends on what type of deal that gets negotiated with Field Trip, but Field Trip does have, obviously it's still really early within the psychedelic clinic game, but they do have like a recognized name within psychedelics at this point. And I don't know, I think it would be a shame to let that go to waste. We'll see if a different company finds value there. I have no clue. But there can be some value there for another company if they want to swoop in and get Field Trip at a steep discount. So we'll see how that plays out. I hope it works out for investors. It's unfortunate that this is happening at the end of the day, but like there's blood in the water right now, and it's going to keep happening. I honestly surprised that we haven't been seeing more companies kind of start going dark. So we'll see how things play out. This is the nature of how the psychedelic sector was always going to mature. You're going to have some of these companies essentially closing their doors, other companies acquiring them, some of these companies merging and stuff like that. It's the name of the game. It's how things are going to play out as the sector matures. So we'll see how things go, but definitely a story to follow. And right now, at the end of the day, Numi is that clinic play that is publicly traded. They are still standing. We'll see how things play out over the course of time with Numi as well. All right, guys, and up next we have basically Atai is going to be doing an Ask Me Anything on the Shroom Stocks subreddit tomorrow. So what are we? Tomorrow's the 25th of the 24th of March. Sorry, guys. So tomorrow, the 24th of March, Atai is going to be doing an Ask Me Anything. So basically, we're going to have all these investors coming in, grilling Atai, asking Atai all these questions about what's going on with Atai. So now let's talk about Atai for a second. They had underwhelming results for their PCN 101 trial. We had results from the KUR, that the Curez deuterated mitragynine trial, which didn't blow anyone away either. And now Atai's basically here trading at like $1.15 around that right now, like significantly down from their IPO price, which honestly is not surprising. The IPO price was incredibly inflated, especially at the time when they IPO'd. It was perfect timing. But at the end of the day, the stock price has been hurting tremendously. And if I'm looking at the next year for Atai Life Sciences, I just don't see any catalyst that will move the needle for them on the horizon. I don't. At the end of the day, for the next year, to me, Atai feels like dead money. If they can pull some type of kind of like magic trick out of their hat, like a finance magic trick, it's not really magic, but basically, so I think mergers and acquisitions here will really help Atai out. They have a very significant cash position, and it looks like they're definitely hunkering down to like by consolidating costs, cutting staff and stuff like that to basically increase that runway even further. I don't know. I'm just wondering if there is M&A on the horizon for Atai. I think that would be the most significant and immediate way for Atai to increase shareholder value right now. Would be through mergers and acquisitions. Now, if you want some companies that I'd be looking at if I were Atai, Small Pharma is number one. Small Pharma is the leading DMT program. They have an amazing staff. They're doing really great work around DMT. And they are, for a DMT program, they are one of the furthest along in regards to the trials. I think if Atai bought some type of ownership stake in Small Pharma, I think that would be huge. It would be great for Atai investors. It would be great for Small Pharma as well. Just extra funding and that Atai halo effect when you kind of get brought into their ecosystem. So I think that would be great. Trip Therapeutics is another company that I think would be it would be really interesting if Atai kind of took an ownership stake in a company like Trip as well. I see it happening. I think Small Pharma seems like there's a better chance for it to happen with Small Pharma, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what Atai's plan is right now. Hopefully we get some clarity on it tomorrow. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just really not optimistic about the next year for Atai Life Sciences specifically. I like the company in general as a long psychedelic play. I just don't know where the shareholder value, aside from their cash position, is going to come from this company within the next year. Okay, everyone. So before I end this video, I wanted to let you guys know about some exciting news. Psychedelic Invest now has another affiliated YouTube channel called Psychedelic Everything. Psychedelic Everything is going to have some psychedelic investing content on there, interviews, general kind of psychedelic sector content. some earnings point reactions as well, or assessments. But it's also going to have a lot more general psychedelic content. So just more informational stuff regarding psychedelics in general, comparisons between different psychedelics. I'll give you an example off the top of my head, something I'm working on. We're going to do like 5-MeO DMT compared with NN-DMT. It's going to have trip reports where you're basically conversations where I talk about my experiences on the psychedelics. I'll be talking to other people who share their experiences with specific psychedelics. It's good. It's just a much more general channel for psychedelics, for everything that has to do with psychedelics, to be honest. So I'm hoping to see many of you guys in that community as well. I will include a link in the description where you guys can subscribe and follow us there as well. So excited to see you guys on both of these channels, both Psychedelic Invest and Psychedelic Everything. Thank you so much.